Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. It's a resource remix Wednesday, which means that we take a game that we've purchased, so a commercially available activity, and we tell you how we've remixed it, which means how we've made changes to the way that we play so that we can target specific skill areas, so things that our learners are working on. So we are Mission Cognition Social Skills Development Centers, so our primary focus area is going to be on building those peer-to-peer relationships, so increasing positive peer-to-peer interactions, and really just focusing on those get-along type skills. So the skills that you need to relate better to others and be more successful in a variety of social situations, as well as focusing on scaffolding levels of play. So moving from non-social or semi-social play to more social levels of play. So again, today's game is Go Go Gelato. I'll drop a link to it in the comments. And here's what it comes with. So it comes with colorful cones, and then these are the gelato balls. So what really drew me to this resource sort of was the catalyst of me purchasing in the first place was these cards. So when I see that activities come with cards like this, so models that you build off of, I immediately think, awesome, that lends itself really nicely to a barrier game. If you're not familiar with barrier games, I will talk to you more about what that means. And it also lends itself really nicely to cooperative play. So if you're familiar with a Lego therapy model, it's kind of along the lines of where I'm going when I talk about that. So as is typical for us, I really don't know how you're supposed to play the game, but if you're into that, it does come with this packet of directions so you can check it out. But if you are familiar with us, it's sort of what we do with these types of activities is we work our way backwards. So I think, all right, what skills am I specifically looking to target with this learner or with this group? What activities do I have? Or if I see something cool or interesting, I think, can I target those skills using this activity? If I can't, I try to be more creative about it. And if I can, awesome. So with this particular activity, I'm going to talk to you about five different ways that we can use it. There are several more ideas, but trying to keep this kind of brief for you, I'm going to fly through those five. So the first thing I want to talk about is associative play. So if you're not familiar with the different levels of play, we go by Dr. Parton's 6 stages. So unoccupied, solitary, onlooker, parallel, associative, and cooperative. I'm not going to spend too much time on that here. Again, I'm trying to keep this pretty quick for you. But if you are interested in learning more about those levels and how you can support your learners in moving from one level to the next, I would encourage you to check out our online learning community, www.mconlinelearning.com. We have an associative play course, we have a cooperative play course, and then we have several other courses that really sort of pull it all together for you, but then also give you sort of that foundational understanding or get you in on the ground level of what we are talking about when we talk about play in general. Okay, so back to the resource. First one I want to talk about is associative play. When we're looking at associative play, this is when the kids are starting to acknowledge one another. So you're starting to see some interaction happening. That's different than parallel play, where they might just be playing with similar materials or similar activities in close proximity to one another, but you're not seeing that interaction. So now with associative play, you are. So if you're looking to scaffold to that, it's important that you understand what those specific skill targets are so that you can teach that and reinforce that in your learners, okay? So I'm specifically looking for commenting on own actions. So we talk about make, show, and share. So make something cool, show it to somebody, and sharing materials. So if you have this out, you could do it as an open-ended activity. So you have just a bunch of these cones out on the table. Sorry, you can't see my table. Forget about the cards for that beginner level if you want to. So it could just be very open-ended. So I might say, oh, I got a yellow cone. Oh, look, I put pink gelato on it. This is good. What did you make? Or what are you making? Can I have a yellow cone? Can I have a blue cone? So you're commenting on what you're doing. You're commenting on the actions of others, and you're making and responding to requests from peers. So do you see that increased level of interaction from the parallel play to associative play, okay? So very basic skill targets, but a lot of skills that a lot of our learners have difficulty with, or if you observe them playing, they may be playing next to other kids, but they're really playing on their own. They're very into their own activity. So we want to sort of move them along to the next level, increase that interaction. Okay, so you could do the same thing and have it still be associative play if you gave everybody a card or let them choose their own card and they could copy their own model. But remember, we're wanting them to talk about it. Oh, I need a green cone, a pink cone, a yellow cone, and a blue cone. Oh, do you have the green cone? Here's a pink cone. So you're doing some trading. You're commenting on what you need. Oh, yours looks good. Can I try that? So you're going to want to model a lot of that, model and prompt a lot of that language. Okay. So that's my example for associative play. Next level of social play is cooperative play. So that's when you have one or more kids working together to achieve a common goal, okay? So if they're working together, you're going to want to give them one card, okay? At the earliest level, that entry level, I'll work on the first level of cooperative play, the same time we're working on associative play. That's okay. So with that earliest level of cooperative play, I call it that everybody does the same job, okay? So everybody will get something and add it to make this picture, right? So the first person will get the first thing, if you will. So I'm gonna pretend there's other people here with me at the table. I'm gonna say, I'll get the green cone. Right? I'm commenting on my own play action, okay? So I got the green cone here. Let me see if I can set this up so you can actually see it. No. Bummer. Let's see. Okay, so I got the green cone. Let me see. Okay, so then the next person would say, I'll get the pink gelato. Put it on top. Okay. Next player would say, I'll get the pink cone. All right, I'll get the yellow cone. Right? So it's cooperative because you're working together to complete this same, I don't want to call it structure, but you're working together to replicate this image, okay? So you see how our target skill there was checking. They're going to check the card. They're going to identify what it is that they're going to get, and they're adding that to the team project. And then, you have a group celebration at the end. High five. Oh, we did it. Yum. I'm going to eat this. I'm going to eat that. So you can continue to expand upon that, okay? That's an example of sort of an entry-level cooperative play. If you wanted to get more advanced, if you're familiar with the Lego therapy, I happen to have the book right here. If you're familiar with the Lego therapy model, we base a lot of our cooperative play activities off of this. So with the Lego therapy model, you have a builder, supplier, architect, or engineer. I always get them confused. Engineer, supplier, architect. Sorry, I'll have to go back and check on the accuracy of that, but you get the idea. So it's a 3-person team and they each have a separate job. So you could take that same model and apply it to this. So one person might have the card, another person may need to gather the materials that you need, and another person may actually have to assemble it. So you have to really communicate very effectively and check in with one another to be able to accomplish that. So that's another example of how you could do a cooperative play activity. Okay, so the other potential target skill is imitation. So we're talking about showing that awareness and play that somebody else is there. So since there's a lot of duplicates, like there's, I think 3, there's 4, four. There's 4 of each color cone. There is 3 or 4 of each color ball. So however many there are in the set, that's how many kids could play. So if somebody is the, gelato queen or the gelato king or a gelato boss, whatever it might be, that person could make something. So let's say I do this, then everybody would quickly imitate that. So the skills you're working on are really staying aware of the environment, orienting to who that gelato boss is, and then I like the concept of hustle, working quickly, right? We really want to shorten latency. Taking a long time to do things or a long time to respond, it's a pretty significant barrier to social interaction. So I like things that we encourage some speedy responses to. And then the imitation piece, okay, done. It could be a competition if you have kids, again, if the target skill is tolerating losing, you could turn that into a competitive activity, or it could just be cooperative again. High five, we got it, cool. The next gelato boss is you know, Georgie, all eyes should be on Georgie. Georgie's gonna make a gelato and we're gonna copy it. Ready, set, go. Bing, 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 done, 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 done. Okay? So by making a tiny change, you either have a competitive activity focusing on tolerating losing or sportsmanship, or you have a cooperative activity focused on just being a member of the team, working together, encouraging one another. Okay, so we did associative play, we did cooperative play, we did imitation. Barrier game. I love, love, love barrier games. Again, when I see cards like this, I think, yes, lends itself beautifully to a barrier game. If you're not familiar with barrier games, I hope that you'll love them as much as I do once I explain them. So in a barrier game, you can do it in groups, but I'll give you a partner example. So let's say you have 2 players. One player will have this picture card faced away from the other player. And in the example I'm going to give you, it'll be a barrier game, but I also want to focus on reading and responding to nonverbal cues. So it's going to be a no talking barrier game. So remember, one player has the picture. You're going to give the other player access to the materials. Give exactly what you need or give extras dependent upon the skill level of the kid. So make sure you're differentiating instruction. That's the beauty of changing the rules of things. You can make a lot of different modifications to effectively target everybody's areas of need. Okay, so I have the pattern card. Someone needs to replicate what I have here. The only way they know how to do that is by watching my face. Functional eye contact. Important information is found on my face. If you're looking over here, you're not going to know what to do. If you just start picking stuff up and guessing, you're not going to be accurate. So all of a sudden, my face and my expression is really functioning as a reinforcer. It's helping you to complete that task. Okay? All right, so I'm looking at the partner shows me this card, I check, or I'm sorry, shows me this cone, I check. Yep, we do need that. Shows me another cone. No, we don't need that one. Shows me another cone. Yes, we need that one. Get the idea? Now you need to figure out what gelato is going to go on top. First, you need to figure out what color. Don't need that one at all. Do need this one, but does it go here or does it go here? So that's going to be that 2-step discrimination. So figuring out what color gelato you need and then which cone it goes on. That's going to be a little bit more advanced, right? So I see how I start to put it here and then I check the face of my partner and they're saying no, I'm not going to put it back. That's really going to be a specific behavior that you're looking for in your learners. Do they put it back or are they making another decision? Then they should try to put it here. Yes, that's right. Okay. Then we only have 1 cone left, so you only need to, only 1 discrimination figuring out the color. So, nope, my partner says no to pink. Partner says no to yellow. Partner says yes to green. At that point, I'd have the one partner flip and show the card. Check, high five, awesome, great teamwork. Switch roles, okay? So that's a barrier game because only one person can see the card. And we did it as a nonverbal communication game. So the partner who has the card is practicing giving directions or giving answers nonverbally, nodding if it's a yes, shaking if it's a no. You can increase the complexity of that by having them just make expressions. Maybe if they don't nod, if your kids already are responding reliably to yes and no with a nod and a shake, you can have the partner give expressions like more subtle, like, so it's even hard to give a subtle expression without shaking, but you get the idea. Try to give a more subtle expression if you're targeting more advanced reading and responding to cues. Okay, so we did associative play, cooperative play, imitation, barrier game. Oh, the last one was a more advanced pretend cooperative play. So when you have learners who have a good amount of language, I'm talking about your level 3 VB MAP kids, cooperative play in a pretend sense is really starting to emerge in our typically developing 4-year-olds. So once you get to that level developmentally, it's appropriate to start to work on some of this stuff. So that's just going to be the pretend play that you're familiar with maybe from when you were a kid. So setting up a gelato shop, you could assign roles. So maybe somebody's going to be the customer, someone's going to run the cash register, someone will be the gelato maker, and then you'll have the kids come up and practice giving their orders. So they could give spoken orders like, I'd like a pink cone with a scoop of lime Gelato. Oh, here you go. So you're going to model that language which is appropriate for your learners, more or less, again, depending upon those levels. You could also do it in a no talking way. So, oh, this is a quiet gelato shop. There's no talking. We're right next to the library and we don't want to disturb them. You know, make up some silly story. But then your customers are coming in and they're pointing to things, or the gelato scooper has to figure out what they want, again, by just showing them, and the customer's nodding or shaking their head yes or no, okay? So when you're first introducing that type of cooperative play, I would suggest giving the kids assigned jobs and then modeling exactly what you could say and do within those jobs. And then you want to start to back off and fade out that facilitator support, and then just facilitate what the kids have already identified for themselves, just to make sure everybody's getting equal opportunities in play, okay? So hopefully that was useful. Again, it is Go Go Gelato, and in this video, we remixed it 5 ways. So just by making some minor changes to the way you use these materials, we could target associative play, cooperative play, imitation. We played a barrier game for nonverbal communication, and then we worked on scaffolding to more advanced pretend cooperative play. Hope it was useful, and we will see you next Wednesday for another remix.